Hello and welcome to episode 5 of my Working with Work series. And today I want to talk to you about planning out your goals, or goal planning, or dream planning even. Now, one of the problems that many people have is we all have these wonderful goals and these wonderful dreams that we want to achieve at some point in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. And the problem is, as I mentioned in the Todoist video this week, the problem that we have is that all the rest of the stuff, all the work that gets thrown at us is the urgent stuff, it's the noisy stuff, it's the stuff that's grabbing our attention all the time. And we rush around and we try to get all these tasks done every day. And by the end of the day, we're very, very tired and we've not done anything towards achieving our individual goals, the things that are really important to us as individuals. You know, my goals, your brother's goals, your sister's goals, your best friend's goals. None of us really have time to actually do these goals. Now, the other problems, there are many problems with goals and dreams. One of the biggest problems that I find is people often, when they're planning out their goals, they tend to think about how other people see them. And what I mean by this is, if you've heard of a guy called Tony Robbins, who's an amazingly inspiring speaker, he has a what he calls the RPM planning system. Now, I can never remember what RPM actually means. I think it's probably something like rapid planning method, although I do know that the M means mapping or map. But what it basically means is like results, purpose and map. Results, purpose and map, RPM. So this is very, very similar to the David Allen's natural planning method, where you start off with what you actually want. This is what I call the want, the what. Then you go into the purpose, like why, what I call the why. Why are you doing it? And then you go into the actions, or in this one, mapping out what you have to do to get to that result. Now, the funny thing is about this is that most of us are very good about saying, yeah, I want to earn a lot of money. Great, you want to earn a lot of money. Well done, I'm really impressed. How are you going to do that? But before you get to that how, why do you want to earn a lot of money? Is it because a lot of money will give you the opportunity to experience the things that make you happy? I mean, I'm always convinced that people who tell me I want to make a lot of money, it's generally because that it's not the money that they're really after, it's the happiness they think money will bring them. Now, one of the things is, one of my aspirations, if you like, or one of my goals is to buy a Range Rover Sport, either this year or next year. Now, that's going to involve quite a lot of money, and I'm working very hard to get it. Now, one of the things I'm doing is I realize that in order for me to be able to afford a Range Rover Sport, I'm going to need to increase my income streams. I need more money coming in. But before I even get to that stage, I need to ask the question, why do I want a Range Rover Sport? Now, for me, it goes back a long way. This goes back to when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and one of my father's friends took me out in his Range Rover, and I was like, wow, this is the best car I've ever been in. He took me across fields, on tracks, and of course on the road. And I was so just wowed by that experience. So when I think about the result, buying the Range Rover Sport, I'm thinking also in terms of like the feeling of driving that car, the feeling of washing it every Sunday afternoon, what it's going to feel like to listen to the music, to drive it off-road. All these things just consider when I'm thinking about the result. And then I go into the purpose. I mean, the purpose is linked to that feeling of pure pleasure of being able to drive this car off-road, knowing it won't get stuck. And then I go into the actions, which is increasing my income streams, working very hard, looking for opportunities to be able to make enough money so that I can buy this car. Another one that I often hear people talk about is, I want to get fit. Okay, now the question, that's easy enough, I want to get fit. The problem here is, why do you want to get fit? Now, for some people, I know this one can be quite embarrassing because perhaps the reason you want to get fit, or the reason you want to start doing weights and look really muscular, is because you want to look sexy. Now, you wouldn't go around telling everybody, I want to get fit because I want to look sexy. I mean, that's not what most people do. They normally say, I want to get fit because I'm really concerned about my health. Now, hey, come on, guys. When I was in my 20s, I didn't give a toss about my health. I mean, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was partying every weekend. Health was not on my agenda when I was in my 20s. As I've got older, however, my issue now with health and fitness is partly to do with health, but it is also because I love that feeling of being proud of the way I look when I'm wearing clothes, or when I'm wearing a suit, or when I'm on stage and I'm doing a presentation to 150 university students or 250 business executives on how to get themselves better organized. I love to be standing on stage saying, well, I know I look good. It helps with my confidence, but it's not something I'm going to go around telling people. So when you start thinking about the goals that you want to plan, you really have to be very, very honest with yourself. Because if you write out the purpose of why you're doing this goal, and you start thinking about what other people think, then you're not going to write down the truth. And if you don't write down the truth, the only people you're lying to is yourself. And you don't want to be doing that. When you write out your goals, so you've started with the result, what you actually want, and you've really got to see it, feel it, imagine the emotion you have when you're around it, and then you move on to your reasons why, your purpose. You have got to be really honest with yourself. And even if it means that if somebody saw your goals, it would be quite embarrassing, it doesn't matter, because you don't have to show your reasons to anybody else. And I always find that those first two parts, the result, that real feeling, and the purpose, making sure that it's really genuinely the reason why you want to do it. I want to get fit because I want a really, really gorgeous girlfriend. Okay, fine, write that down if that is the genuine reason. I mean, why not? Now, when you move on to the next stage, the action, or how, as I would call it, because I like to deal with simplicity, so I've got the what, the why, and the how. The how is all those little action steps that you have to take to get there. So, for example, if you want to earn a lot of money, then you're going to have to figure out income streams. How are you going to earn that money? What can you do? Can you make something? Can you do some freelancing on a weekend, in an evening? There's many ways you can do that. And as Gary Vaynerchuk will say, there are millions of ways of making money out there. Having a garage sale on a weekend, right outside your house, you could earn yourself $200, $300 just from one weekend garden sale, backdoor sale. But what about getting fit? I mean, the action steps there is, first of all, what kind of exercise do you want to do? I mean, I love running. I do circuit training twice a week, because running really only looks after the bottom part of your body, and I also want to do something about the top part of my body, so I do circuit training twice a week too. Now, part of my goal strategy and moving it into everyday life is that I must exercise at least 4 days a week. And sure enough, I schedule that in my calendar every Sunday, so I know when I'm going to exercise, and it is a golden rule, it happens. So this is the next step. So we've got the what, the why, and the how, or the result, the purpose, and the map. But the problem that we next have, the next problem, if you like, is fitting that into our daily lives. And that is the key to successfully achieving your goals. You have got to find a way of fitting at least one task each day that's going to take you closer to the goal or goals that you have. And this is why using a to-do list manager such as Todoist or Wunderlist or OmniFocus or Things for Mac or whatever, this is why these are really, really helpful, because you can turn these tasks into what I call recurring tasks, and they come round and you flag them and you make sure you do them every day. Now, you don't have to go crazy, you don't have to go wild, but what you do have to do is make sure that at least every day one of those things are being done. So getting fit, it means like making sure you do exercise at least 4 times a week, or I think the guideline is at least 3 times a week. Earning a lot of money is like doing something in the evening that's going to help you to make a bit of money. So It could be starting a YouTube channel, or it could be developing or writing a book. I mean, these are not going to make you a lot of money, but they are going to increase your income streams. So this is what you have to think about. Is it's all very well doing the what and the why. I mean, that takes time, but it's reasonably easy. But the difficulty, real difficulty, is fitting that into your daily life. And if you truly, truly want that goal, then you're going to need to make sure that you've got 1 or 2 tasks every day that's going to take you a little bit closer to one of those goals. And trust me, it really, really does work. I've got a 25-year plan that I'm involved in at the moment, and it started in January. Well, it actually started 2 years ago. I wrote a book. I then started the YouTube channel, and I've written another book just recently, and these are all coming out, and I have a few other projects that I'm going to work on this year, and this is all part of a 25-year plan that I have that I'm developing. And seriously, guys, it is really liberating to know that every single day I am doing something that's taking me closer to that goal, every single day. And when you get into that and it almost becomes a habit, you know, it doesn't matter what the world throws at you, because you are in control. You see it every day and you are moving closer towards that goal. Anyway, enough of me ranting and talking again today. Hopefully you've got a pretty good idea of what I mean by planning out your goals. Basically, it's a simple formula of what is it that you want, and really imagine what it's going to be like when you achieve it. If it's a big house with a swimming pool, imagine going out and swimming. Why do you want that goal? What is that deep inner reasons, those emotional reasons why you want that goal? And finally, how are you going to achieve that goal? These are your action steps, the what, the why, and the how. The action steps that you can take every day, or almost every day, that's going to take you closer to that goal. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode of Working with Work. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it inspiring. Don't forget, actually, just previously to this episode, in my Working with Todoist episode 97, I actually showed you how you can develop your goals in Todoist. So for you Todoist users out there, you can have a quick look at that episode, and maybe it'll just spark some ideas for you. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to join our Productivity in Tech Facebook group. It's there to help you with any questions you have about technology and productivity. I put the link in the notes section below. And also, please guys, don't forget about my Working with Todoist book. It's doing very, very well. And if any of you guys who have bought the book would like to leave a review for me, that would be really, really helpful. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a very, very productive week.